Is he the common link between Tim and Eric and the Marvel Universe? Is it Paul Rudd?
No, he's the common link between like humanity and immortality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
ID4 demo. Do you remember whenever Independence Day came out and they were like ID4 everything? It was.
They really tried to
They really pushed that.
I think they perfected it with Men in Black. They were like, MIB, that works, right?
Independence Day came before Men in Black, yes?
But the 4, everybody... Yeah.
Yeah.
But the 4, it's confusing. It's either just Independence Day or it's just July 4th. You can't mash them together.
Have you ever heard of this game?
Makes it sound like it's the 4th movie, right?
Did you know this game?
Answer me, damn it.
I won't. I refuse to take part in your silly conversation.
Then intro the show, goddammit.
All right. Welcome back to Watson James Don't Play. My name is James.
I'm still Watson.
Have you ever heard of this game? Did you know it existed?
I was vaguely aware of this game in so much as I know that a lot of movies around this time just had video game tie-ins. I was
vaguely aware of this game in July.
In July.
Independence Day. Do you get it?
So you say it when the camera goes over the wreckage.
Oh. Now we're skipping that.
That's the poetry of it.
They tried to put movie scenes in the game, but I mean, it's a PS1 disc.
Right.
Let's see.
They tried to render some familiar stuff.
All right. So our Grand Canyon objective, destroy the fill generators on the City Destroyer. Is that what they're called?
What style of game is this? Are we piloting the ship?
It's an airplane game.
Like
it's like a flight sim.
We're in the fighter jet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are Will Smith in this game.
Right.
Okay?
Is that canon? Are we in fact him, or are we just some random dude?
I don't know.
Okay.
The voice kind of sounds like him.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell whoever voiced the character in the game really tried.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to take out the primary weapon. Our wingman is Captain Steve Miller. He's going to give us close air cover and stay in radio contact during battle. I got bad news for Steve. I know how it ends.
I've seen this movie. Oh, yeah.
As the good Reverend said...
Yeah.
The first half of the movie's great.
Look, we've talked about, outside of this show, we've talked about how well-paced the movie is. What is it, like a 5-act structure or whatever? Like, it's...
Sure, yeah, I would say that.
It's well done. I feel like you're kind of always catching back up with a character you're starting to wonder about, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, there's huge portions of the movie Will Smith's just not in.
And he's a big part of the movie.
And he's ostensibly the main character.
Right. Him and Jeff Goldblum are I would say the two mainest characters, followed by Bill Pullman.
Pullman, I think, probably almost outranks Goldblum.
Oh, as far as like frequency in the movie?
Not even that, but just as far as his importance. Do you know what I mean? As far as like he's the emotional part you're supposed to be following, whereas Will Smith's like the action part you're supposed to be following. Right?
Pullman's so dry, though.
Yeah, but he's got the family, the daughter. He's got the rousing emotional speech.
He has the U.S. presidency.
He's the president.
He's literally the president.
The obvious like leadership implications and heavy as the head type shit that he does. Because it's an unprecedented thing that's happening that he's having to deal with kind of by default by being one of the only people left.
Right.
So I think he's supposed to be, the emotional kind of center of the movie. To be like, yes, this is the America we want to get behind. This is the kind of human drama we want to get behind. And then Will Smith's, one-liners and lasers. Right?
I like whenever, you got it. You nailed the character development of the movie, for sure. I like the part where he fires the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Just straight up says, you know what? I'm going to use your first name.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a job anymore and I don't respect you.
Yeah.
You hid this from me. Oh, there's the alien boob.
Isn't he the one that's constantly like, we have to nuke now and nuke hard?
Right, we got to nuke him. So he does. He finally goes, you know what? Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
He gets like psychically attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a psychic attack from the aliens and he goes, let's nuke them. They don't want to be, there's no peace. No peace. Played by Data.
I was going to say, who?
The guy, the nerdy science guy is played by Data.
Brent Spiner?
That's it. You got it.
Brent Spiner.
When I was a kid, though, I was just like, oh, Data. Anytime he was in anything, I'm like, oh, Data. Data, I love you. You're the best.
Even, I knew what Data looked like at the time, and I did not know that was Data. Granted, I was also like, I don't know, like 10 when this movie came out.
Right.
So, yeah, I was blown away when I found out that the long hair and beard and stuff, that almost always tricks me. When people talk about movies and they go, "Oh, the wig was so bad," or "That disguise was so bad. Did you see this and that?" And I'm always like, "No, I didn't. I enjoyed the movie."
It wasn't a great wig.
It's not a great wig, but I think the guy looks fantastic, and no part of my brain is going, "That's a bad wig."
If you're thinking to yourself right now, "I'm nauseous," it's not. No one's playing tricks on you. This game is nauseating.
Yes.
This is tough to watch.
We will be sending around flight attendants with some Dramamine and other accoutrements.
A half-eaten bag of peanuts. I ate some of them. I don't know what to tell you.
If you are allergic to peanuts, well, you know.
Sorry,
we just raised the stakes.
What a horrible existence that must be. No offense to anyone that has. You're allergic to peanuts. You know how bad it is. It sounds awful.
I'm not allergic to peanuts.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the person who's offended by my peanut allergy joke. Yeah, you get it. It's fucking horrible. You can't eat anywhere. You can't eat anything anywhere.
But also, what if we just used peanuts and just in a couple generations that died out? Why are we struggling so hard to make sure there are still people around that are allergic to peanuts?
I don't think the people with the allergy are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good.
Shouldn't they, though?
No, of course not. I wouldn't.
Them and bald.
Absolutely not. Them
and bald men.
The world should change. The world should change for me.
I'm trying to get it to. These stupid peanut allergy people won't take one for the team.
I don't want it to change for future generations. I want it to change for me. I want to be okay.
I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna still eat peanuts.
Look at any oil executive. He doesn't want to change for the future. He wants to change. He wants things to change for him.
Look, obviously, I'm joking. I'm deathly allergic to penicillin, and I think we should still have antibiotics.
Do you remember in Ninja Turtles where they go?
Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
Actually, we're getting to the point now where we probably shouldn't have antibiotics because things are getting antibiotic resistant.
Awesome.
There's super gonorrhea now.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, go on with what you were saying.
Something about allergies. I don't know.
Something about allergies, gonorrhea, really.
Something about it was gonorrhea related. That's for sure.
Adjacent, yeah.
Is that the clap? That's the clap on.
Is
that what they
think so?
So I get chlamydia and gonorrhea mixed up.
In my brain, chlamydia shortens to clap easier.
Exactly, it's the claw sound.
It's the claw sound, and I am a dumb guy who doesn't think a whole lot about STDs.
Chlamydia. I think I'll name my daughter chlamydia.
Divorced from what it means, it's a beautiful word.
Except for the chlamydia part.
It suffers from what we like to call the diarrhea quotient. It's just too tied to something gross to be beautiful.
Whenever I was playing this off the air, the camera would focus in on the missiles whenever I shot them after I locked onto stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not doing that anymore.
Interesting.
I'm bummed about that because it was cool.
Is it
a setting that I can turn on? Let's check real quick. No options in game.
Well, you paused it and you unpaused it. That's about half the settings right there.
But yeah, it would focus in on the missile. You would see it go in.
All right, hold on. Let's talk about this game.
And you'd be like, is it in? It's in. I promise.
Look, if you have to ask, it's not going great. So, yeah, let's talk about some other things that maybe fall short in this right now. One, I'm not getting a swarming of anything.
Yeah, there's not.
Pretty open.
Bogey? What bogey? Who's the bogey?
Bogey has lock.
All right, so there's...
You better do a barrel roll or something.
On the radar, there's 4 enemies. In the movie, there's 4,000 alien ships.
Yeah, it's these swarms, and they're moving quick in little packs, and there's a few fighters. And in here, it's there's a ship and maybe a guy following you.
I like how the aliens are waiting for me to take out their shield generators.
Yeah.
To what I assume is going to be, they're going to shoot the big... Yeah, all right,
there it is. All right.
So I have to lock onto that, shoot it. I guess I hit it. I hope so.
And then right behind you.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Shoot it again.
All right. So is it all flight sim? That's the whole game?
Did I get it?
That's the whole game? There's no, run and gun levels or anything?
No, because, there wasn't really any run and gunning.
Yeah, there was never hand-to-hand combat, really, I guess, other than, the one alien they meet.
I got it.
But it would be dope if you did it like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style, and there's like the alien doing psychic attacks on you, and you gotta dodge them.
Dodge the psychic waves.
You know, dodge the psychic waves, and then try to punch him in the nose like when he punches the original one. And welcome to Earth. You know,
Just that's the whole game.
boom, 5 seconds. I just thought of a more fun game than this to tie in with the movie.
Washington, are you ready? I'm entering you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the player 1 select plane selection.
Do you remember?
Okay, I've selected my plane. Do I get a choice? It's the Air Force. They have the one plane.
Do you remember how obsessed we were as a country with the Air Force in like the late 80s, early 90s?
A little bit. Top Gun had a lot to do
Top
with it.
Gun, well, they still say Top Gun is
Wasn't
directly responsible for like an increase in membership and
Wasn't
stuff.
Top Gun Navy, though? Don't they in the Navy?
I think they're technically the Navy, but it's planes. Everybody just associates it with the Air Force.
Sure, but they were on a boat, you know?
Let's just say the military is really cool with you using their stuff as long as you make them look good.
AWAC.
You know, before everything was CGI and it was really planes doing. I guess Tom Cruise is still doing stuff live, but you know, aside from that, they would just call up an Air Force base and be like, "Hey, can we get some tanks and shit?" And the government would just be like, "I don't know. Are you gonna make them look badass?"
We'll put some teeth on them.
Yeah, we're gonna put some
We're
teeth
gonna
on
paint.
them.
We're gonna
Will
paint.
Smith's gonna pilot this thing. It's gonna look great, and people are like, "Yeah, hell yeah, you can do that."
We're gonna put Betty Page on the side of every other fighter plane. So, you know, hope you draw the right one.
Hey, come on! Shout out to Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, my bad. Maybe.
She was in there too. You know, right?
Yeah, for probably more than
Jane
more than-
Mansfield.
The first one that popped in my head was Betty. You
I'm
know,
just thinking about pinups now.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
I have an encyclopedic knowledge of pinup models.
I mean, look, the Rocketeer's girlfriend is very much played by Jennifer Connelly and inspired by Betty Page. So those two facts combined to really stick in my brain as a child. It's a certain aesthetic, that dark hair, tall, voluptuous pinup model kind of silhouette is really just imprinted on my brain. You know.
I do know, yeah.
What was your first big imprint like that?
Oh, like what? Like pinup model or just in general?
What kind of clicked in your brain the first time you saw it and you go, that's on some...
The first time I found out I liked girls, is that what you're trying to ask me? Like,
Not even that direct of a correlation, but more of a...
because I got a story for that.
Let's say after you liked girls, and then we'll circle around to the story, but after that, what was the thing that was like, and specifically this girl?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really have one.
No?
Yeah, I can't think
Come
of
on,
anyone.
you've got a model in your brain for femininity, right?
I do. It's the one that I was like, I like girls.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's both for you.
It's yeah, for me it was both. I was
All right, fair enough.
I was in 3rd grade. The New Adventures of
Old Christine.
So it was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, starring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher.
Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher, I recall, yes.
It's this weird thing that you forgot happened, you know?
It's a terrible...
Stop shooting me!
It's a terrible Superman suit, too.
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
It's too shiny. You know what I mean? It's just like shiny lycra, I guess is probably what it is.
This is awful, all right?
So
But-
Terry Hatcher?
Yeah, Terry Hatcher was the first
Is
one.
there a specific scene or moment that you can recall? Like
Oh, just in,
maybe an
in-
outfit?
In general, like I started watching the show and they're like, and this is Lois, and I go, that's a woman.
And you were like,
You know?
I watched this show now.
Right. This is the show that I watch. I would tell my friends about. I was like, they make out in the show, full on. So I had a buddy of mine. I had 2 friends. They were twins.
Okay, flex.
Yeah. All right. So I would try to convince the twins. That's just what I'm going to call
That's
them.
what my friends called me, Jimmy Two Friends.
Anyway, I would try and convince the twins that I was like, they were like making out on the show. And my buddy, the one twin was like, nah, there's like a computer that they're actually separated and they make him, they use a computer to make him
CGI that.
Yeah, he says they make a computer to show him kiss. Then, and I'm like, I don't know, man. That's
Wait,
stupid.
what? Is that because he thinks like no 2 adults would want to do that?
So I said,
or that it's like against the rules? Like, what was his logic behind why they would even want to do that?
oh, I don't know. I guess he couldn't fathom. So he, at this point, he hadn't had his awakening. You know what I mean? He didn't have the awakening that I had when I saw Terry Hatcher. And
Sure.
in his eyes,
Sure.
women were disgusting.
And you're trying to hip him to what's going on
I'm like,
TV.
no, man, you don't understand. Like, this is This is it. This is the good stuff, all right?
Well, that's the thing. There's two levels to it, right? There's the, no, you don't understand. This is different than what you're talking about. And also, it's awesome.
It's so awesome. So, yeah, he was trying to convince me that it's all fake. It's all made up.
It's all fake.
And, of course, I said, I think it would just be easier if they just kissed.
The most unrealistic part of a Superman show.
Dean Cain was like,
It's two people kissing.
Dean Cain's like, I will not kiss a woman. All right,
Well,
never in my life have I, and never will I.
Well, this is
so
what-
fire up your fucking supercomputer. All right, I'm not gonna touch her. All right,
Yeah.
tell Terry to stay the fuck away from me.
He's like one of those actors that won't take off their wedding ring for roles. He's
Right.
like, I won't kiss anyone but my wife. Now you give me the budget.
Years later, he would play a bit part in Rat Race where he has one line, and he plays the guy that John from Garfield's wife was cheating on.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's all he was.
You know what? Well, maybe he shouldn't have so many dumb shit views then.
Oh, Dean Cain, the rapist.
Alleged on
Alleged.
a TV show.
So
I want to
the
be very clear about that.
anyway, so that was the first time where I was like, yes, all right, it's girls.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Girls.
And so far, so good. You
So
know?
far, it's working out.
So far, it's gone well.
I do. Yeah, I do love women. They're pretty great.
Yep.
Beats the hell out of the alternatives, too.
Right. Well, the important part is that we both hate men. I think
The
that's the takeaway
The important part is that men suck. Men made this game. This game's a piece of shit.
here. A man was piloting that plane.
Yeah, trying
what a,
to.
What a fucking idiot.
What a bitch.
This wouldn't have happened if a bear was running the show.
Yeah.
I like how it opens up really quickly and shoots immediately when just the last level, it was like, you got some time.
You got a minute. Yeah. Well, you think there was like one little alien in there that was like, guys, do it faster this time. You remember what happened last time?
The alien boob opens up to showcase the alien nipple that kills us all.
It readies itself for Randy Quaid's sacrifice.
They're going to say, it readies itself for Randy Quaid's sack.
Another terrible dude, Randy Quaid.
I'm escaping to Canada. They'll never find me.
It's all a conspiracy. They're
I'm
out
like,
to get me.
No, they all know you're there. They don't care.
He's like the Great Value brand Ted Kaczynski at this point. You
If
know,
you-
the beard and the rantings.
If you were a real threat, they would come for you. You're not. You're just some crazy person.
You're just a guy who is more it's those people who think none of their problems are their fault, that the world is out to get them. It's that kind of narcissism taken to its most extreme, you know.
Yeah.
My life is bad not because I won't pay taxes and do shit like that, but because there's a cabal of people behind the scenes making sure that I don't get roles in Hollywood. It's like, no, bro, you're just a kind of a pain in the ass, you know?
Real talk, though, paying taxes sucks.
I
But
mean,
I
yeah.
enjoyed the street that Watson drove on to get to my house.
I
You know,
enjoyed
like-
I enjoyed at least feeling a little bit like I'm trying to keep libraries and shit open too.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
I like infrastructure. Ideally that's what most taxes would go towards.
Here's the swarm we were talking about. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one plane to every 30 alien spaceships.
I will say this is a little better video rendering than what we were experiencing previously though, right?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little bit better.
Just make this the game.
Just make this well, they can't make this the game. They can't even make this the game right now.
This was made by Fox. 20th Century Fox had their own
Mm-hmm.
subsidiary called Fox Interactive, and they made the game.
Well,
And that's
and-
why it sucks, I'm pretty sure. Because they really just pumped it out. They said, we got to get something. All right, PlayStation's pretty new at this point. We got to get
that's-
something on there.
That's what I was talking about earlier too. When I was like, I was aware at the time that they were big to capitalize on video games' popularities and tie in as much stuff with these movies as they possibly could. That's how they became blockbusters. You know,
Yeah.
is that they were just oversaturating every entertainment market with tie-ins to this kind of stuff. Everybody knew about Men in Black, from the single that Will Smith released to the music video to the toys to the ride to the, you know, TV show.
We're not hosting an intergalactic kegger down here.
Zed.
Edgar's skin is hanging off your bones.
The only thing that pulls its weight around here is my goddamn truck. Figures.
I love randomly telling people to get their big butt back in the house.
I had something happen the other day, and I felt like Edgar when it happened. I go, figures.
You drink a glass of sugar water?
No, it was just something broke. Mm-hmm. And
The shrug of,
yeah,
yep.
Yep. Of course it did.
Same shit, different day.
All right. Start the game over. You died once, and you got to start the game over now.
Speaking of Vincent D'Onofrio, though, can we talk about how big of a downgrade the villain in Men in Black 2 is from Vincent D'Onofrio?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about that. First off, we have two villains. We have the main villain, right? And then we have the lesser Knoxville villain.
He's the lackey. He's not even a villain.
He's a henchman.
He's a henchman, yeah.
But the Bug didn't have a henchman. The Bug was just...
He was a bug.
On a singular mission to capture the galaxy.
Yeah.
To steal the galaxy, which is on Orion's belt.
That's what the little dude inside the big dude's head said. So...
Dr. White, can you look at this one, please?
The body? The dead body.
The dead body. Oh, yeah, great body.
She's got a real Queen of the Undead thing going. Which, again... These are the Linda Cardellini. These are the things that imprint on a child's brain.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, Jade. Go watch Jade if you want to see Linda Fiorentino. Sorry, it's not Cardellini. It's Fiorentino. So
It's kinda Italian.
So Lara Flynn Boyle plays the villain in Men in Black 2, right?
Yeah.
She's an alien vine creature thing that sees a supermodel and decides to disguise itself as Lara Flynn Boyle.
Is she related to Peter Boyle?
You know, I think by marriage.
Oh, you think they were married? Or like it's a stepdaughter situation?
Well, not even that directly, just by marriage.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
it's like a random
Gotcha.
uncle or something.
There's a last name, a shared last name.
I made all of that up. I have no idea. So, Lara Flynn Boyle.
By now, the text on the screen will have told you because I went and looked it up.
You're really stretching yourself with the editing this episode. I applaud you.
It's fine.
I love it. So yeah, she disguises herself and then she just kind of stands around. Like the movie doesn't give her anything to do.
Yeah. So she's a writhing mass of tentacles, right? That's what the alien actually is.
Right.
And the writhing mass of tentacles was like, you know what? I want to be hot.
You know what? We don't.
I'm
have
tired of
You know
being-
what? We don't have the budget for this, so let's just go ahead and make it into a human.
Right.
And then yeah, she puts her vines up people's nose and stuff to control them. Not even control them, but just to kind of intimidate and hurt them. And yeah, she has this plan to. She ends up taking over the MIB headquarters. It's very. Like I said, they just don't give her much to do.
The only redeeming
Every time
qualities,
it cuts back to her, she's standing still, talking to somebody.
Right. The only redeeming qualities about the sequels are the interactions between J and K. So Men in Black 3 is also watchable just like Men in Black 2 is because J and K are there. Now, that being said, Men in Black 3 is not as good because it's got Josh Brolin way more than Tommy Lee Jones. But I think he did an okay job as young K. I didn't hate it.
I liked his young K.
Yeah.
I really I thought he was pretty locked in on the voice, and they did just enough kind of makeup enhancement to really accentuate how much they look alike. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah.
I also think they nailed the dynamic of Men in Black with that way better than they did in Men in Black 2.
Yeah, I think you're right.
When they
They probably took a step back and said, you know what, we should really focus on their relationship more than anything.
K just kind of... it's just what they do with his personality in Men in Black 2, you know what I mean? Because, like, he's forgotten all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. But he's happy at the post office, whatever.
By the way, that Biz Marquee cameo is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
That's fantastic.
I
The
fucking love
individual things like that are cool in the movie. But when you're thinking about the story of Men in Black 1, what makes Men in Black 1 so cool is you've got a cool guy, you've got Will Smith, who basically gets told that, yeah, you're cool, but look, everything you think is cool is also kind of a fraud, and here's what's really going on. And we, the audience, get that sense of discovery along with him.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where we're on that journey with him to see what's going on. And you see, you know, oh, New Yorkers, there's aliens on the street even. And, oh, my God, what is this? And then in Men in Black 2, you basically reverse it. And now it's Will Smith is the one trying to get Tommy Lee Jones to see behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
But we as the audience, what do we get to discover? Nothing. We're just waiting for them to be a dynamic that we like again.
Right. And it slowly takes shape. It does take too long, though.
But it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah,
why are you
it's
going out of your
unnecessary.
way to undo everything that we liked about their dynamic in the first movie? Everything that made that pairing successful.
Let's just take a moment and appreciate the 3 missiles that I just got off. I'm going to nail this first level. Mm-hmm. But Bogey has lock.
It's so dumb. Like, there's a good joke in the first one about the fact that he drives an LTD. And then you got the Will Smith, I make this look good, in the second one with a stupid fancy car. The point of Men in Black is that they're anonymous. Are you
fact.
fucking stupid? Like, he's
Right.
supposed to be driving an innocuous, forgettable car,
Not a Jaguar.
not a fucking Mercedes
Hang on,
S-Class or whatever.
Get in the fucking Jag. We gotta get gone.
So I just think they really dropped the ball with number 2. 3 is watchable.
Poop.
What's the one that's the time travel one?
That was Men in Black 3.
International?
Oh,
is
I don't
the
know.
one after that?
The one with
But 3 is the one where they have.
Thor and Valkyrie.
It's got. I think so. Yeah.
Ugh. I never saw it.
All right. So
It sounded
3.
fucking horrible.
3 is Jermaine Clement as the villain. Boris the animal.
Oh, I have no idea. It's been such a long time. I saw the third one once just to say that I saw it. I didn't hate it, and that's about as memorable as it was for me.
Yeah. Because Boris.
Shit, I'm out of missiles. Oh, the Earth is gonna die.
Because Boris goes through time,
No, it won't. I threw my plane into it. Everything's fine.
and that's why they gotta go back to visit like Andy Warhol and shit, and the space launch, and all that stuff. That happens in 3.
Yeah, that happened in Venture Brothers also.
That happened. You know what? It did. It really did.
It also... Now that you mention it, I'm like, that also happened in Venture Brothers. They didn't go through time. He just was always there.
Well, they have gone through time, sort of, though.
Andy Warhol's an alien too, just like Elvis, right? Like,
No, that's the reversal of the joke.
Oh,
That's what's
okay.
so funny about it. It's a plant. So he's an MIB agent who's just stuck in this shitty character that he doesn't like doing. He's like,
Tell her that I'm filming this man eating a hamburger. It's transcendent.
then he gets behind the scenes and he's like, you got to get me out of here. I hate this bullshit. I'm down to painting soup cans. I'm out of ideas.
I have nothing
Trapped under
left.
this stupid wig. And it's Bill Hader, so he really sells it. And he does a
Right.
good impression anyway. Voiced impression, I mean. The look is obviously ridiculous. But so was Andy Warhol's look. I heard a story about Andy Warhol going...
Andy Warhol knew he was ridiculous. There's no denying
Well,
that.
yeah, he was very aware of his persona.
It was a bit. Everything's a bit.
Well, he was weird anyway, but some of it was a bit. Anyway, I heard a story about Andy Warhol going to WrestleMania.
The public nudity was not a bit. He believed in that.
So can you imagine sometime in like I think it was the 80s, Andy Warhol, one of his many, many projects, because obviously he had a whole team of people and he was always kind of tinkering around with shit, right?
Yeah.
One of the ideas floating around for him to do was there's going to be a Broadway show about Andy Warhol, right?
Starring John Malkovich.
No way crazy.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Just wait, because this is going to take a minute to explain. So hold on. Let me get through it. So, Broadway play, biography of Andy Warhol type show. One-man show, but who's the one man playing Andy Warhol? It's a Disneyland Hall of Presidents style animatronic.
Oh, awesome.
So the idea was no one has to perform, no one has to rest or learn the show. We build the robot does the show, we can do as many performances as we want. Right?
Yeah, right.
And we'll do it on Broadway, eventually tour it, whatever. So Andy Warhol at some point seriously considered this. In the Andy Warhol Museum, you can see part of the animatronic prototype and stuff that they were building.
Narrated by Andy Warhol.
But anyway, while he was working with this animatronics designer, they went to WrestleMania because it's just a social event for them
Right,
to kind of
yeah.
while they were hanging out. So Andy goes, and I remember I think his quote was like, they're so beautiful. It's like
The wrestlers?
It's like opera.
Yeah.
Like, that was his basic like feeling about going to a live like WrestleMania type event.
And you go, yeah, Andy, that's the...
And I was like, yeah, man,
that's
you,
it.
you nailed it. You really did kind of appreciate art, didn't you?
I like it. Yeah, even art that, doesn't really appeal to someone like him.
Isn't that
he
fun?
can appreciate it. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
That's a cool
It's a nice story.
All right. I think we'll probably end here shortly, but you got anything else this week?
Oh, I watched The Iron Claw. It's on Max. It's streaming on Max.
Oh,
Zac Efron obviously looks amazing as Kevin Von Erich. really, the other guys got fit. There's no denying that, except Mikey. He didn't have to be fit. That's the thing.
And I think the only casting issue you had was with who they
Yeah.
cast or what they did with the Nature Boy part.
Just heads up, I'm going to let you know that Ric Flair is in the movie. Not Ric Flair, but an actor portraying Ric Flair. His character is in the movie. Hold your breath.
Yeah, Ric Flair is portrayed in the movie, we'll say, poorly in the looks department.
The guy that portrays him kind of got the Jar Jar Binks treatment from the wrestling community.
Oof.
It was his first movie, too. That's the worst part.
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's not good.
No hate to the actor at all. Acting is extremely difficult, but yeah, that movie just did not do right by him.
Yeah, and if you're an aspiring actor and a casting agent calls you up, or your agent calls you up and says, "Hey, you're going to play Ric Flair," you don't say no.
You want to be in a hot new movie with Zac Efron? Yeah, I do.
I can tell the actor understood Ric Flair and what his mannerisms were.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's just
I think it was just kind of like
thousands of hours of footage to study from.
the director kind of dropped the ball on that. It took me out of the movie for a moment.
Yeah.
And immediately after Ric Flair is gone, it throws you back into the despair, and it brings you back in pretty quick. But it took me out. I didn't like that part.
Maybe
of it.
the director left it in because it was like, we need this.
We need
it's too much despair.
We need something
Gonna break
light.
this up a little bit.
Now that being said, and this is just historical information, Kevin Von Erich was going to kill Ric Flair in that match, and they nailed that part of it though.
Tight.
Yeah, he was not okay.
If you want, I guess we'll stay there because people want to probably see that movie still. But if you just want a palate cleanser afterwards, the 30 for 30 documentary about Ric Flair, Nature Boy, is on Netflix.
Nice.
So people can watch that as a palate cleanser. You know, it's a lot more fun.
Brendan from Las Vegas, pretty good at Independence Day.
Kyra from Area 51. Well, she shouldn't be using their internet for that. That's not secure.
And a Soviet spy. Nice.
Ooh, yeah. What's your name? Ian Moscow.
Ian Smith
Nikita Tokyo.
from Chicago.
She's also a spy. All right. See you guys later.